Hello, you're watching TVP World Talks. I'm Jonasz Lewicki. Until recently, many speculated the US and Europe may end up acting in lockstep on the issue of sanctions against Russia, using them as the proverbial sword of Damocles to force Moscow to negotiate. However, following Trump's recent conversation with Putin, it seems the sword has been sheathed, at least for now. And instead, we were treated to Trump's social media posts extolling potential economic benefits of a rapprochement with Moscow. Is Euro-Atlantic cooperation on sanctions already a lost cause? Joining us now is Jarosław Ćwiek-Karpowicz, director at the Polish Institute of International Affairs and also organizers of Strategic Ark conference dedicated to discussions on international politics and security taking place in Warsaw. Welcome to TVP World.
Thank you for having me. Indeed, today we are opening the huge conference organized by our institute, Strategic Ark, 2 days of very intense debate among American and European experts about the most important issue in the world.
And let's actually begin with that. Do you think this is going to be a useful forum to discuss the possible responses to the way Russia has been acting, namely ignoring every attempt to bring it to the negotiating table, or at least pretending it's willing to negotiate, but then backing away, dragging its feet? Do you think that some sort of consensus can emerge, which could perhaps be an important voice in the discussion, could be also heard by the US administration?
It would be excellent to formulate one clear message among all participants. We try to invite the most influential policy or maybe opinion makers, advisors, think tankers. It's not so easy to bring them all in and gather in Warsaw. I think there are many aims why we organize this event. One of them is to share our views, because perception is extremely important. What is important for US, it's not maybe fully understand here in Poland, and also our perception what could be Russian interest and motivation. I think that we Europeans, Poles, we have many to offer to say to our American friends. And of course, it would be excellent what you already said, to formulate some kind of common understanding and say what is our values, what we can do together, both America and Europe. We still are transatlanticists here in Poland. Our conference is to rather find common solution and common things. Extremely difficult nowadays, hearing many speeches by politicians from both sides that Europe and America, we don't need each other. I don't think so. We still are very important partners in trade, in security, first of all, and we want to show Americans that they really, there's for their interest to invest in Europe's security, but of course we also want to invest more.
So some politicians in Europe are saying that there is a risk of America being pushed out of Europe. On the other hand, the American administration has made it clear that they want to rearrange their involvement. They want to readjust their posture. So do you think enough is being done to reach out to opinion makers in the US, on the Republican side in particular, to show them our point of view and to make them aware that this is not just about the economy, this is not just about Ukraine itself, it's also about the broader security architecture and the fact that the US also stands to benefit from stability in this part of the world?
It's true. From time to time we have to clarify some statements made by politicians. For example, quite recently Mr. Rubio said that Ukraine-Russia conflict is a territorial conflict. No, it's not only territory. We know that Russia needs Ukraine as a state, not just a piece of land, just to completely change the security architecture in Europe. And we need to repeat this very, very often. But you're right. I mean, Americans, they very often they say that their interests should be more focused on Indo-Pacific. They need more investments, more soldiers there, not in Europe. But they also need European help. So our answer is, if you need our support against China in Indo-Pacific, in economic terms, in political terms, we need you here in Europe. Still, you cannot make a deal with us like no more American support for Europe in security, and in exchange, Europe still will be very pro-American in the Pacific. It's not a deal.
So Trump is also supposedly all about the American business interest. Now, let's talk about that. He recently said, and I quote, "There is a tremendous opportunity for Russia to create massive amounts of jobs and wealth. Its potential is unlimited." End of quote. Now, let's take a look at the statistics. The trade exchange between the US and Russia, $3.5 billion US dollars. Trade exchange between the US and the European Union, $975.9 billion US dollars. Do you think the emphasis is perhaps being placed on the wrong player on the international scene?
You are completely right that even in the best time of US-Russian relations after the collapse of Soviet Union, Russia never presented a great potential for American investors, only in oil and gas sector, but in a very limited extent. And we all remember the case of Yukos and Mikhail Khodorkovsky and many other oil investors who just were sent by Putin to the prison. So that's why for Russia, maybe it's a land of opportunity in terms of energy resources, critical raw materials, but because of the authoritarian regime, there is no way for a good investments like US has in Europe. So in other words, it's a great potential. I agree with Mr. Trump in this aspect that indeed Russia has a potential to develop itself and be one of the biggest economy in the world, but unfortunately because of the political leadership, because of the unfortunately some cross-national nostalgia over the Soviet Union, this country is not focusing on its own development, but rather on the territorial expansion. So it means it's a waste opportunity, no doubt, for the biggest country in the world in terms of territory, with enormous materials, oil and gas reserves, but this potential is still not fulfilled by Russians itself, and definitely is not achievable for foreigners, including Americans or Europeans. Many leaders, business people thought that with a very good personal relations with Vladimir Putin, now I'm thinking about Gerhard Schröder in Germany, they thought that they would be able to establish a good economic relations, profitable for both sides. And what is the result of this opening for Russia? Now we are witnessing in Ukraine that Russia just took all these investments and money and buy the best military equipment and now invade European country.
So now, speaking of wasted opportunities, there was an opportunity to create a united front when it comes to sanctions. Do you think that it is true that Trump is going to back away from this in favor of a rapprochement with Moscow and not use this tool? And also, if he does so, how should Europe go about it? Can Europe alone inflict economic damage on Russia sufficient to make it rethink its actions in Ukraine?
It seems to me that this is the last chance or last argument for Trump. From the very beginning, he mentioned sanctions as a serious instrument of influence on Russia. So now if Trump is saying that maybe sanctions would be lifted, it means that he has no other arguments, because what he already did, some political concession in UN. I'm thinking about voting on the Ukraine resolution in February this year, when US supported Russia's declaration, no doubt. So this is a very serious economic concession, which I really doubt if Trump really is ready to do this, because this is exactly what we should do together, and we are very stable in this regard, that both Americans and Europeans, we want to harm Russia economically. And we want to go further. I mean, Europeans, Russia still exports lots of energy to third countries, India, China. For example,
secondary sanctions. So that's what the US said it could do, but doesn't seem to be ready to do that yet. Do you think the problem is that, as some critics say, Trump is talking a lot to Vladimir Putin, but didn't actually have the time to meet with Ursula von der Leyen, for example, despite Europe having a massive economic potential and being an important trade partner and military ally?
It's true. Trump is trying also to negotiate with with its closest allies with a very strange manner. For example, with his neighbor Mexico, he had several phone calls, but it never met Mexican president. So of course it's very tough for politicians when they are knocking to the American doors and no one is opening. But just short brief on the U.S. Mexican, U.S. Canadian, U.S. EU trade relations, investments. I mean, we are the closest partners, and many people, many U.S. allies, they are just trying to be very calm, not to react and wait. Probably after a few months, I hope that the real interest will prevail, and then we will be able to talk about our common goals, how we may create our economies more competitive and more innovative, because this is the real issue. For Trump, the most important is to improve living standards of Americans. This is why he is so unpredictable on the international scene, and very often is changing, his rhetoric. All the time he's trying to explain to Americans that what he's doing is for American interests. He's trying to use every single opportunity. And this is coming back to our conference, our main goal, to show Americans, through the opinion makers, to the American public opinion, that their interests are here in Europe, and they have still many opportunities in security, but also in energy field, in trade, investments. Still, we are not so much integrated as among our European countries, and why we should shut our doors of further cooperation.
So the Euro-Atlantic alliance as a formula is something that has worked for many decades. Why change it now? That should probably be the question there. Jarosław Ćwiek-Karpowicz was our guest today here on TVP World. Thank you very much for joining us and for sharing your insight.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm Jonasz Rawiński. You're watching TVP World. Please stay with us for more latest news and updates.